Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well. So today I thought I would do a kind of talkative get ready with me. It's Halloween soon. Well, I think when I post this it will be Halloween in like 2 days. So I thought it was only relevant to do like a video where I kind of talk about my sleep paralysis. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time. I've been wanting to kind of touch on it for ages. But I thought it's just relevant to post during Halloween because it's scary. But yeah, before I get into the video, I want to kind of show you my new watch, and I'd like to thank Nordgreen for sponsoring this video today. So this is one of their really nice, lovely watches. If you focus, I'll just put it like that. This is one of their, oh, look at the angles I'm trying to get to kind of get this to be shown right. This is one of their watches. So they're a Danish brand, and they have loads of minimal kind of watches, and regardless of what's in trend at the moment, this never goes out of trend in a way. So I chose this really nice silver watch. I don't actually own any silver watches, just because I find it very difficult to find like a really nice one. So I found this one from Nordgreen. Best thing about this is that you can kind of like personalize this to yourself. So I chose the silver dial with like a silver mesh strap, but you can choose so many more. There's like white straps, white leather straps, so many different options that you can choose from, and I think the fact that you can kind of design it and choose it yourself is just great. What I love especially is that the fact that they're such a sustainable brand. They basically plant thousands of trees to offset carbon emission. They have really sustainable packaging. So the box that I got it in is obviously very sustainable. They even came with like a little tote bag to promote not using plastic. I love using tote bags, by the way. Their packaging is actually made of FSC certified cartons and also upcycled plastic bottles. So they have very responsible manufacturing, so you just know that they're such an ethical brand. They look after the people that make their stuff as well, which I think is amazing, and I think is very important, especially during this time. They also have a giving back program. So they partner with 3 NGOs. They donate 2 months of clean water. They also donate 2 months of free education. And they also save 200 square feet of rainforest. So yeah, if you're looking for a watch that is sustainable, ethical, looks amazing, and also it's just something that it's just a staple piece, you know. It's something that you will never go out of fashion, it will never go out of style, and I just think everyone needs it. You know how to spice up your outfits? With a watch, with jewelry yourself up. But yeah, I love this brand. I honestly love, when it came through the post, the packaging was immaculate. Forgot to mention this, but Nordgreen have also hooked me up with a discount code, which is 𝓉𝒃𝓀𝓈, all in capital letters, and you can get 15% off everything on their website. So yeah, if you want to just see how I got this look, and also just hear me talking about my whole sleep paralysis situation, then keep watching. I'm going to moisturize my face with the 𝒻 hydration cream. This is honestly my favorite cream at the moment. If I'm not wearing makeup, then I love to use an SPF cream, but my foundation has SPF in it, so I tend to skip that out. Look how red I get. Right, so it is officially spooky season, and I'm so annoyed because I haven't, normally every year, like, I love doing makeup looks around this time, but I just haven't. It just doesn't feel like it's Halloween time. Like, most of the people that know me, they know that I love Halloween, and it's probably one of the best nights that I look forward to in the year. And obviously this year it's just not really working out. I haven't been in the mood to kind of post any Halloween looks, which I should, but, and to be fair, this this should be a Halloween look on its own. So yeah, I haven't been in the mood to kind of do a Halloween look, or I haven't been in the mood to kind of pick up my makeup and start doing new things. I've always wanted to kind of tell the story, but I think I was going to do one earlier this year, but I was like, let me wait until Halloween time to kind of talk about this, because I think it's kind of fitting. I put on my story like, oh, shall I do my paranormal, well, not my paranormal, my sleep paralysis kind of story time, because I love telling this story. Like every time, like, you know, when you're with a group of friends and like you're telling each other about your horror stories or your ghost stories, this is my favorite one to pull out the bag, because not many people kind of go through sleep paralysis. And it's really interesting actually, because when I was younger, actually I say when I was younger, like when I was like about 5 years ago, I used to watch this girl on YouTube called 𝓉𝒽𝓃𝓀𝓈, and I still watch her, don't get me wrong, but she's basically I still watch her, but she basically had a lot of sleep paralysis, and this was me before I even experienced sleep paralysis. And she used to post loads of story times about it, and the way she would describe it literally terrified me. I was like, this can't be real. And every time every time I watch her videos, they just seem so surreal to me. Like, it's not possible that this could happen. But yeah, no, at that time in my life, I used to love watching horror, like paranormal videos, like people talking about their paranormal experiences, and like just like sleep paralysis in general as well. It got to a point where I was like addicted, and every night I'd come home and like watch if 𝓉𝒽𝓃𝓀𝓈 put up another video, and she used to get it quite a lot. But yeah, it just seemed so like, it was just, I would watch these and I just wouldn't believe it. Like, I would just like the story around it. I wouldn't think, oh my god, this is so real. Like, I used to always, at first I used to think she was lying, but then I was like, oh, maybe it is real. Like, I don't know. Good thing it's not happening to me, because I would literally be scared shitless. But I was like, do you know what? And then when I got to uni, I was fine in my first year, and then in my second year, that's when I started getting a bit of, that's when my sleep paralysis kind of started, in my second year, when I was living in a house with a few of my friends. Bear in mind, I've never experienced any paranormal stuff, apart from, actually, do you know what, I'll mention this one. When I was doing my A-levels, I used to revise a lot downstairs in my kitchen, and I used to revise until like 3-4 a.m, like non-stop revision for my A-levels. So I used to be obviously alone in the dark. Well, not in the dark, I obviously had my light on, but I was obviously alone downstairs. I used to spend a lot of time downstairs in the middle of the night, and early mornings. So I always shut the door, because if I'm listening, I always need to listen to music while I'm revising. So I shut the door, and this one night, like, it's a common thing to happen. Like, I would literally be downstairs every single night, so it's not like I was downstairs for the first time. So I was downstairs, and it was like about 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, I can't remember. The door, like the door handle went down, and then it opened, and the first thing that didn't come, like, it didn't come into my head the first time, like when it happened, was that, oh, someone's, no, it's a ghost. I literally was like, okay, 𝒻𝑜𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓀𝓈, my sister, has obviously just opened the door, and I was waiting, I was just like waiting for her to like come through the door, but then I thought she was fucking around with me, and I was like, 𝒻𝑜𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁𝑁, and I was like literally like looking at the door like, 𝒻𝑜𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁, like the door opened, right, and there was like a little gap, and I was like, 𝒻𝑜𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁, like, I know you're trying to scare me or something, I don't know. And then no one replied for like ages, and I was like, shit, like, is that not 𝒻𝑜𝓁𝓁𝓁𝓁? Or maybe she did it and then she ran away. And so I go out of the kitchen, I went outside, and there was literally no one there. Everyone was sleeping still upstairs. So I was like, trying to think about it logically. I was thinking, there's literally no way the handle would have gone down and then opened the door, because my handles, you can't, like, wind can't pull the handle down and then open the door and then pull, like, it'd be back up again. No, it doesn't work like that. It literally, you need a force to pull it down. It's not going to do it by itself. So I was like a bit like, and then I went to sleep, because I was like, that was enough revising for me that night. But I never really spoke about it. I think I told like mum and dad after, like a day after. I was like, did any of you guys come downstairs and open the door and then run upstairs to go back to sleep? They were like, no, like, why would we do that? And my mum's a bit like superstitious like that, so I don't really like telling her things like that. And I'll tell you in a second when I tell you my sleep paralysis story. I don't really like telling her stuff like that, because she gets like, she thinks there's another meaning behind it. And I don't know if that's the case with like a lot of Indian mothers, but like, other than that, I haven't had any other paranormal experiences. The only reason why that one kind of, like, I remember that one is because we were sitting with a group of friends and we were like telling each other our own paranormal experiences. I feel like my problem with like get ready with me videos is that I don't know how to multitask. Like, I will either talk, but I will not do my makeup. I just completely forget to. Anyways, I'm just gonna conceal. I found a new concealer trick, by the way. I know this is not relating to the video, but if you let it dry a little bit, it actually is a lot more full coverage. And this is the e.l.f. one. So I just like pat it in a little bit. I'll show you in a second. I pat it in with like a brush. So yeah, I just pat it in, and what it does is it gives you a little bit more control with where you want the concealer instead of blending it out everywhere. I look crazy right now, but it's gonna look alright at the end. Watch. Oh, I always feel like excited when it comes to actually telling people this story. Like, I feel like I've told my friends and my family this so many times. And actually I didn't tell my mum until recently, because I knew what she's like, and when I tell you what she kind of, how she reacted after, you understand. I don't like baking anymore, by the way. I like pressing it in and then wiping it off a bit later, but I don't like having like heavy powder just sitting on top of my skin for a bit. So second year of uni, we just moved in to our flat. Actually it was a house, sorry. We moved into our like, it was like a student flat. Why do I keep saying flat? It was our student, I'm filming a video, so I'll talk to you later.
Oh, right now?
Yep.
As we speak?
Yep.
Oh, hey! Hold on, I'm gonna call you because we need to break up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sick, because I was thinking the same thing today as well.
I don't even like you.
I don't even like you.
I don't want to be with someone who draws their cheekbones on. You have to already have a cheekbone.
Listen! Yeah, shut up.
You look like you're doing Halloween costumes, cuz.
It is Halloween.
Anyways, in a bit, I'm bored of you now.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yo!
Thank God that I moved into my second year house in 2016. And I started watching these videos around like the year before I started uni. So I was obsessed with these videos. So in a sense, like, I already knew how to kind of break out of sleep paralysis, just because I know what those people, like, from the videos, like, I know what they would say. So anyways, like, I think it was like within the first month, the first time it happened, I was just sleeping, and I woke up, and I thought I woke up in the middle of the night because I could just see my uni room, but then there was like this man on the side. So let me just give you if I have any photos of what my room looked like, I'll add it. But basically the bed was on one side of the wall, and then on the other side of the wall, I had a really big room, so the other side of the room, it was just fitted cupboards, and there was a mirror as well, but it was just fitted cupboards and a mirror. So in the middle of the night I just woke up, which I just thought I woke up, right? But I see, like, in the corner of my room, I see a man wearing a top hat, and he's just there in the corner. And then, like, this is so long ago, by the way, this was about 4 years ago, right? So 4 years ago, and he was just standing in the side of my room, and I was just, I don't know how I was feeling. I don't know how I reacted at the time, but I was just a bit like shocked in a way, that I was thinking, shit, is this, I straight away knew it was sleep paralysis. And the reason why I knew that is because I tried to move, like, I tried to flinch and I couldn't move, because when you're in sleep paralysis and you've just woken up, essentially sleep paralysis is when you cannot move or speak as you're waking up or falling asleep. It can be scary, but it's harmless, and most people will only get it once or twice in their life, okay? So it's quite common, and that was on the NHS website, by the way. So you can sometimes hallucinate. So this is what it was, like, I was just hallucinating. But so yeah, so I see this man on the other side of my room, and I'm like, I freaked out, obviously. And these videos that I used to watch of like these people that went through it themselves, they even said that if you freak out, whatever you're hallucinating will basically get worse and it will just come and attack you, essentially. So I started freaking out because it was the first time it's ever happened, and I was just thinking, oh my god. So I couldn't, first thing, I couldn't move. Second thing, I freaked out. I started like trying to get out of it, and then I remembered like the way you get out of sleep paralysis is by moving your fingers and your toes. If you move them ever so slightly, you can break out of it and you can basically wake yourself up. So that's what happened. I immediately knew how to like kind of get out of that situation by moving my fingers, moving my toes. I got out of the situation. I think the next day I told a few of my friends, I was like, this happened to me last night, and they were just like, that is weird. Like, I was very freaked out, not gonna lie, because I was thinking in my head, I was like, I watch all these videos but you never think it's gonna happen to you, like, and then as soon as it happened to me I was like, shit, like, it's real, like, you do like, that happens, and it's so scary. It's honestly so scary. Every so often after that I used to keep getting them, and it progressively got to a point where, so I had another one like a few days after, and there was like a man, like he was just walking up and down my room, like where the fitted cupboards were, and it sounds so scary, but at the time I was just watching, and I think I tried to move. So yeah, it was like this really fat man, and he was running up and down in front of my bed. He was just running up and down. He didn't even look at me, firstly. Didn't look at me, but he was talking to himself. Like, I can see that he was talking to himself. And he was talking to himself, and I feel like he looked like he was, like, you know, how do you explain it? Like those people that work on a railway and like fit railway tracks. That's what he looked like. And he was basically running up and down, not running, like he was pacing up and down between my door and then the window, like just back and forth. And I was looking at him and I was like, shit, like this is another sleep paralysis. But at this point I kind of got used to it because I had a few before that as well. And I was watching him, and then I just tried to move because I just didn't want to, it just freaked me out a little bit because he was talking and I could hear him talk. And that's never happened before. I've never heard anyone speak in a hallucination as well, like in one of those sleep paralysis. So he was talking, I tried to move, and then he just looks at me, like he goes like, and that really scared the shit out of me. I was just like, and then all I could picture, I know in my head I was like, shit, I fucked up, because now he's gonna come and attack me. And he did, but he didn't really. But he was like, he looked at me and he was like surprised that I was there, or that I could see him or something, I don't know. So then he kind of was like crawling into my bed, like he was like, it was so messed up. It was really messed up. So then obviously I moved my fingers, moved my toes, got out of it, and then I opened my eyes and there was nothing in there. I don't know if I mentioned this, but when you get sleep paralysis, you literally feel like you've just woken up in your room, and you've opened your eyes are open, by the way. Your eyes are open. My eyes were open, but the thing is you just can't move around, and it's so difficult to move out. Like I can't even explain it unless you've gone through it yourself. You just can't move. Like you can move like little parts of you, but like you can't physically like turn around. So yeah, that's really scary, especially when like you see this thing coming towards you. Anyways, went back to sleep, and I don't know how I went back to sleep every time this happened. Normally I think it's because I was at uni and I didn't want to go and annoy my friends, like, and my friends that I lived with at the time, I wasn't like that close to, like that. So it's not like one of those ones I can go in and be like, yo, like, I've just had sleep paralysis, can I come and sleep with you? I wasn't on them levels with those people. So I kept getting them again and again and again. I used to get them all the time, and then it got to a point where I used to see them. So I saw the man in the top hat again, and I just literally looked up and I was like, I am so tired right now, I can't be bothered for this, I can't be bothered to react to you. So most of the time I would either just watch them and just not freak out, or I would just fall back asleep again and then I'll be fine. But there was this one time, so this was the most scariest thing. But before I get into that, I'm just going to quickly do most of my face, because I feel like I'm really like, this is what I mean, like where every time I do a talkative get ready with me, I can't concentrate. Like, I'm the worst multitasker. This is the Too Faced palette. I think it's called Pretty Rich. Honestly, my favourite palette when like I'm going out. Shout out 𝓉𝒽𝓃𝓀𝓈, she bought this for me. I had this a couple of times, right? Then I came home for like the weekend or something, and I told my dad about it. I was like, listen, like this is what's happening. But I was like, I know what it is, don't worry, like I know how to like sort myself, I know how to kind of get out of it. And at that point I was very used to it. I used to get it a lot. As much as you think you wouldn't get used to something like that, I got pretty used to it very quickly. And in my head, the way I kind of dealt with it was the fact that it's not real, it's hallucinations. And obviously it is hallucinations. I don't know if anyone wants to believe that, but I know a lot of people don't believe that they're hallucinations. But the way I kind of like dealt with it at the time was the fact that I just convinced myself that they were all hallucinations. So yeah, I told my dad about it, and I was like, I'm not telling mum about it because I know she's gonna freak out. And he was like, yeah, don't tell her. I did more research into sleep paralysis, and I found out that if you sleep on your back, you're more likely to get sleep paralysis. So I think I was napping, and I told my dad this. I was telling my dad, I was like, oh, by the way, I think it's because I sleep on my back quite a lot. Like, I know a lot of people can't fall asleep while on their back, but I don't know how I do it. I really don't understand how I can fall asleep like that, but I just do. So yeah, I told my dad like, oh yeah, by the way, if you sleep on your back, you can get sleep paralysis. So I was napping in my bed, and the computer table is like, our computer is in my room, so he was on the computer. He saw me sleeping on my back, and he literally woke me up. He's like, don't sleep on your back. And I was like, oh fuck's sake, okay fine. Funny that though, I did get sleep paralysis that time whilst he was in the room, which was even more messed up because I sleeping in my bed, and my bed was here at the time, and then the door was there, and I got sleep paralysis, and there was a man just standing by the door, like just watching me, and I was just like looking at it, and I was like, oh, I just can't be bothered. Like, I thought it only happened at my uni house, but clearly it happens here now. But that was the only time that it happened whilst I was at home. And there was this one night where, and do you know what, I think it was my last, like it was the final sleep paralysis. Do you know what, I think it was after this I didn't get any more sleep paralysis until today. Like, I haven't had it ever since, but still in my second year of uni. But it was the most scariest time that I've ever got it. So at this point, let me just break it down to you. I was very used to it. I used to get them very often, probably every single night, or maybe like once a week. I used to get it in a dream in my head. So I was sleeping and I had a dream, and the dream was that I was at home. I was in my bathroom, and I was just washing my face or whatever I was doing in the bathroom. And the way my bathroom is laid out is that there's a mirror, and then you can see, if the door's open in the bathroom, you can see the whole corridor, and you can see who's coming up the stairs. So in my dream, like my actual dream, I was having, I was washing my face, and there was someone coming up the stairs, and instantly I knew I was having a bad dream, and I was like, shit. And I really couldn't be bothered for that bad dream, so I just was trying to break myself out of that dream. So what happened was, there was someone coming up the stairs, and she turned around, and she was coming towards me, and it was a lady, and it was like she had a plastic face, and I don't know how to explain it, but like the best way to explain it, you know that music video that Nicki Minaj is in, Turn Me On. So let me find, yeah, so it was kind of like a lady that looked like this, but without the like broken mechanics. Like, it was just like a plastic mannequin face. Oh, here we go. Here, this is what it kind of looked like, and coming from the stairs, and she was like running, like she started moving a bit faster. She was like running towards me. Here I am trying to break out of this dream because I just couldn't be bothered for a scary ass dream at that time. So I was trying to break out of it, and then obviously I woke up in my room, and I was like, okay, thank God, like I'm out of the dream. I saw my uni room, and I was like, okay, cool, let me go back to sleep. So I tried to turn around, so I was just trying to, you know, switch positions. Everyone switches positions during the night, and I felt something behind me. So like I said, I've only experienced sleep paralysis where they haven't touched me. Like, I've never felt like they've touched me, and I've only heard one of them speak, and that was that railway driver, the railway person who was just pacing up and down my room. So I felt something behind me, and again I couldn't move. So I was like, shit, like something is behind me right now in bed with me, and I just didn't know what it was. And then because I started as soon as I felt that thing behind me, I freaked out, and straight away, like I said, when you freak out, they come and attack you even more. So it was the plastic lady. So the plastic lady came from my dream into my uni room, and I wasn't dreaming at this point. Let me just make it very clear, like my eyes were open, I was awake in my room, and this lady was laying beside me, and when I started freaking out, she jumped on top of me and she was like pushing me down, like, and I always tell this to people and they get so freaked out, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, I felt her pushing down on me. I felt her on me, and I don't think dreams can make you feel that way. Like, I don't think you can actually, I don't know, I've never done any research into if you could actually start to feel the thing, your hallucination, but yeah, I basically felt her, and I was freaking out. Honestly, I was so flipping scared. Like, I saw this lady's, her face was right in front of me. I was in bed and she was pushing down on me. She was just pushing. Freaking out. I'm freaking out. And I was like, there's no point me freaking out. In my head, I was like, there's no point me freaking out because it's not going to break out of it. So I started moving my fingers, moving my hands, moving my fingers, moving my toes, and eventually I broke out of it. But it was the most longest sleep paralysis that I've experienced, and the fact that I could feel her like that, the worst kind of sleep paralysis that could ever happen to anyone. Like, I don't know anyone that has gone through sleep paralysis where they've felt someone or even heard people speaking. Like, I don't know. Really enough, I never got sleep paralysis again, and touch wood, touch everything, this is wood, touch everything, yeah, I haven't experienced it again, but I really wouldn't wish sleep paralysis on my worst enemy. I know a few people that have had sleep paralysis, but they never hallucinated, so I think it's not as bad if you're not hallucinating because you're not freaking out by random people in your room. But yeah, that was the most scariest one, and I don't know if I explained it right. And do you know how I know, like, it's more than a dream? Because you know when you wake up from a bad dream, you forget it. You forget it instantly. You don't remember it. You don't, even though you're first thing in the morning, you remember it, and then literally 2 seconds later, you've forgotten it. I remember these so vividly. Like, I remember every single detail, every single kind of feel. I can remember what the thing is, I can't really remember what the railway driver was saying. I just remember him seeing, like, because I moved a little bit, like when like I said, like, you can't obviously move, but you can move slightly. Like, if I move like that, I moved like that, and he saw me, and he was like, shit. I just remember his face looking shocked, like the fact that I am there and I can see him. So he didn't look scary, like, he just looked like, you know, in the olden times, like that kind of vibe with the whole rags, like the rags and everything. I don't know, man. And during that time as well, to be fair, I was hearing a lot of horror stories about Hatfield, because I went to uni of Hertfordshire, if you don't really already know, but around Hatfield I heard a lot of like horror stories. I really want to know everyone else's like horror, paranormal stories, experiences. Like, I love the subject. I love finding out what other people have kind of gone through. Also, this is a completely different type of video. If you've really enjoyed this so far and you've actually stayed till this part of the video, shout out you, because this is my first type of like story time kind of themed video, and I thought it's only relevant to do it during Halloween, you know. Also, look how sad and tragic this is. I saw another girl on Instagram, this happened to her, 𝓉𝒽𝓃𝓀𝓈 highlighter as well, so I feel like it's a very common issue, and sorry 𝓉𝒽𝓃𝓀𝓈, you need to fix up. Okay, now time for lips. I'm gonna do my new favorite combination. I feel like a lot of people have been asking me, but I haven't really had the chance to kind of tell you guys what it is. So I mean, it hasn't changed that much. It's just obviously I got to use the Primark lip liner. I've got a sharpener somewhere. I think they've discontinued this lip liner, which is actually quite sad. Imagine if I bring out my own lip liner, just because I feel like my whole brand is this lip liner. Let me know if you'd be interested in that actually. Like if I create the best lip liner for Indian skin tones, I would kill the game. Take my foundation brush, I know. So this is the Primark lip liner in Toffee, but I think it's been discontinued. I don't see it in Primark anymore. Primark, if you're watching this, let's collab and create this again. I feel like I've given you a lot of sales with this. And then I take literally any nude lipstick. So I just use the, which one is it? It's the it's the NYX lip cream in Abu Dhabi. I just use that. Then I wait for it to dry a little bit because I like to use a bit of concealer over it just because I think it looks so good. Like I feel like I need to buy a lip cream that's a bit lighter, so then I don't need to use a concealer to lighten it. But I've been really enjoying a really light lip right now. Then I just take any concealer and I just, oh, I think that's a lot. I'm not done yet, by the way, so I take my lip liner again and I just outline it so it blends a little bit more. And then my favorite part, this is honestly the best lip gloss I have ever come across in my life. So this is the e.l.f. lip plumping gloss in Bellini, Peach Bellini. So it's a plumping gloss, and also it's really light, so I like to use it over. So tell me that's not the best lip combo you've ever seen in your life. I think I'm going to stick to no lashes today. I just like curled my hair yesterday, or was it the day before, I can't remember. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I think it looks alright. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little Halloween themed video. If you want to hear a lot, I have a lot more story times, not Halloween related, but I have a lot of story times that I can kind of talk about. One being where this guy pretended that I was his girlfriend to he convinced everyone in his life that I was his girlfriend. Never met the guy. If you'd like to see a story time on that, let me know. But yeah, I hope everyone has a happy Halloween. I know we can't really do much considering the environment that we're in right now. Make sure you follow my Instagram, Kajalxo, and yeah, I hope everyone has a good Halloween, and I'll see you in my next vid.